Sziasztok, ez itt újra a Sörömpapa csatornán, folytatjuk ezt a csodálatos játékot, mondtam, hogy még mai nap folyamán folytatni fogjuk. Feljebb vettem a játéknak a hangerejét, most már remélhetőleg nem lesz olyan halk, mert ahogy Marci mondta, ő visszanézte a videókat, hogy kurvára halk, úgyhogy most feljebb vettem és remélhetőleg most már jó lesz. Szerintem most már fel mindenképpen jobb lesz, de hogyha rossz, akkor majd még állítunk rajta, de hát folytatjuk a játékot.
My condolences, pal. I see your cleaning lady died.
Yeah.
Oh, I wouldn't want to go in there either.
Cigarette.
Yeah.
Az már szar volt a checkpoint.
Well, let's gather my stuff and head to the club.
Jó, akkor ezt gyorsan végig spammeljük.
Yeah. Who's that?
Ezt gyorsan végig spammelem nektek, bocsi srácok.
My wife. I'm gonna... You know?
Yeah, no.
Maybe. You're getting old.
Sure. When was the last?
Just a...
Ja, azt hiszem ez volt minden. Igen, ez volt minden, azt hiszem itt. Úgyhogy... igen, ez megvolt, ez is megvolt, ez is megvolt. Ja, megyünk tovább a sztorival. Megyünk be a klubba.
Midnight had passed, and the intoxicated madness kicked in. We could only crawl along Shalva District's main street toward downtown. The city's heart beat differently. Ancient buildings were defaced by neon signs and billboards, like half-drunk lovers on a fine leather sofa. Great old houses neighbored by garish modern blocks. A place that makes the head hurt. The Tsar's huge neon sign was visible for miles. A blazing red sign advertised tonight's main attraction, the amazing Natasha. Cops were never welcomed at places like this. I hoped we were too late for the show. We had to be inconspicuous, but it was never easy with this bird mountain by my side.
Ah, so this is the famous Tsar Club.
More like infamous, Marty. It's not for our kind, that's for sure. And I don't mean that they don't like foul here.
Well, at least we don't have to be afraid that they see you as a detective, Boss Bird.
Very funny, Marty.
So what are we gonna do now?
We find Natasha, the broad who sent me the message, remember? But first we need to get into the club. And Marty, please, don't monkey this up.
Excuse me? On behalf of the well-respected and noble primate community of Clawville.
Cut the crap, Marty. Let's focus on what we're here for, okay?
As you say, Boss Bird. Oh, look at that. Isn't that the new...
It is, Marty. A brand new 942 Silver Hawk. Haven't seen such beauty since I left Averia.
Of all that's furry, whose is it?
Maybe it's Ibn Wessler's. I guess he's no paper tiger.
Yeah, he sounds like a fellow who drives around in one of these. Lucky bastard. Do you remember when the Clawville Chronicle was a really high-quality newspaper?
You mean when they wrote something about us daily?
Yeah. What exactly happened to them?
Well, they got bored with us, Marty. And to be honest, so did I.
still, here we are working together again. Funny, huh?
Yeah, hilarious.
Oh, I like this.
Why is that?
I don't know. 'Cause it's moving, I guess.
You're a simple bird, aren't you?
Yes, I am. One day, neon signs will cover the whole world, I'm telling you.
You read that in some kind of science fiction book.
No, it's just what I think.
Oh, so you have your own thoughts now. The world's really moving forward.
Look off, Sonny. Honestly, I think these types of women only see faceless tuxedos, cufflinks, and wallets. And in the mirror, they're just brooches, necklaces, and earrings.
Don't be so radical, Marty. They're women. They live by different rules.
That was kind of deep.
It's not just bullshit. There's more where that came from.
Teach me, master.
When you're old and wise like me, you'll realize none of it is worth a damn thing.
Wait, that was deep again, right?
Maybe it was, Marty. Maybe it was.
Amazing.
Maybe it was, Marty. Maybe it was.
Hey, that's your old friend, right? Wait, what was his name? Lawrence? Lamar? No, Liam.
Lewis. Yes, it's him.
To be honest, Sonny, I always thought that guy's not all there in the head.
Nobody's perfectly sane in Clawville, Marty. But if not for this old rabbit, I wouldn't be here today. I'll never forget that.
Should I thank him for that?
Or kill him for it.
You're reading my mind, boss. Jeez, look at that guy.
That's not a guy. That's a demon. Straight from the dog-eared pages of a cheap detective novel.
Yeah, I bet his name's Bill.
Nah, he's definitely a Bob.
$5 for Bill?
Okay, I'm in.
Okay, állom.
Howdy, pal.
Gentlemen, how can I help you on this wonderful chilly night?
We're expected in the VIP lounge.
My apologies, but I don't remember ever seeing you gentlemen here before. May I ask?
Now stop right there, big guy. I get it. Yeah, I know exactly how this works. So what do you have to do to get in?
Nothing's easier, sir. Are you on the list?
The list? Yeah.
Don't tell me you forgot.
I'm afraid I did, Marty. Sorry, big guy, but I'm pretty sure we're not on the list tonight.
That's a shame. I'm really sorry, sirs. In that case, you can't come in.
Yeah, right. Thanks.
My pleasure, gentlemen.
Na, nézzük. Ha. Kaptam róla egy fotót. Mindegy. Ki nyeri meg az a Dolce-t, az itt a legfontosabb. The Clawville Chronicles a város legaladottabb és legnívósabb lapja, olyannyira nagy nevű, hogy a lapot Clawville határain kívül és nem csak gyarmatokon olvassák. Ez volt a lap, amely először hozott le cikket a két hős kakasról, azaz a sirkekopókról. A cikket Timothy Saltwater, az azóta már legendássá vált sirály újságíró vetette papírra.
Look, I really don't want any trouble, but
is even more inconvenient for me, sir, but this place doesn't like coppers. You get this line. I can't let just anybody in, and there are some I am strictly forbidden to. Please, you have to understand.
Listen here, you cow. Do you have any idea who we are? You ever read the papers?
Of course, I know who you are, sir. I read the news and more, and I must admit it's an honor to meet you in person, Mr. Santino Featherland and Mr. Marty Machikin. The Bell of the Pantares is one of my favorite books.
Oh my God, not the books again.
So it would be terribly inconvenient for me if I had to use force on you, gentlemen.
What did you just say?
Relax, Marty. This guy has chicks like you for breakfast. Thanks for the information, pal. Have a nice night.
Thank you for understanding, gentlemen, and forgive me for my austere composition.
No problem, Shakespeare. Say, big guy, you know Mr. Lewis Hayworth?
But of course, Mr. Hayworth is an impeccable gentleman, and also a frequent visitor of the club.
Is that so? Good to know. And?
I'm afraid that is all, monsieur.
What can you tell me about the first lady of the place, big guy?
You mean Miss Natasha Katsenko, sir?
You're right on point, pal.
Nothing you don't know already, sir.
Just try me.
Well, she owns the place.
And, that's it? Well, that's, unbelievable.
Pardon, monsieur, but I'm not permitted to say anything more.
Jó, akkor Louis megkérdezze, kérjük, hogy vigyen be minket.
Sonny, my dear friend.
Hi, Lewis. This is my partner, but I'm sure you already know.
You have no idea how happy I am to meet you, Mr. Marty. I'm a big admirer of your work.
Pleasure's all mine, Lawrence.
Lawrence? Anyways, so, the legendary Chicken Police back together? Isn't it amazing news?
Don't ruffle my feathers, Lewis. Those days are long gone. We're just here for the entertainment. Or something like that.
I see. That's a shame.
See you inside?
I have something to do, my pal, but I'll try to make it for the main event.
Okay then. Catch you later, pal. Look, Lewis. That bouncer over there.
Well, yes. He is a bit intimidating, but his manners are impeccable. Am I right?
Yes, indeed. But it seems tonight we're not on his list.
Oh, I see. Oh, I get it. I get it. You'd like to go in, but he won't let you.
Yeah, something like that.
No. No problem at all. Come with me. I'll talk to him.
Much obliged, pal.
Yeah, thanks, Bunny.
Excuse me.
Ah, jeez, what the hell's wrong with you, Marty?
What? Did I say something wrong?
Sir, how'd you do?
Everything is fine, Mr. Hayworth.
Good. Look, this noble pair of pigeons are my friends. They're on the list, okay?
Naturellement, sir.
And as for you, you owe me one, gentlemen.
Thanks, old pal.
It was my pleasure to help you, as always.
Akkor bementünk.
The jazz overwhelmed us. There was no band in sight, yet the music seeped from the walls. Years of cigarette smoke, the smell of spilled whiskey. Behind the bar, rows of fancy bottles with reflected the harmonious voices of pretty dames and the clinking of crystal glass. It was the kind of place that makes you drunk, even if you've never had a sip. A dangerous place for someone. No matter how alien you felt, it was strangely familiar. Welcome to Azar. Here we are.
Mother of...
I take you to the nicest places, eh, sweetheart?
Oh, does it mean you're buying, honey?
Don't even think about it.
Men these days. So, we're here to find a dame called Natasha.
I have a hunch she won't be hard to find. Let's mingle and try to avoid suspicion.
Just like always.
No, Marty, not like always. This time it's for real. I was hoping to have missed the main event.
You're a rusty old cock, that's why.
So says the little butt jam.
But what? That's not even a word.
It is now, all because of you. You should feel honored. Butt jam.
You know, Sonny, sometimes you're like an evil little child.
Oh.
Look, Sonny, I know it's not my place, but Laura's father went to that guy when his, problems had gone too far.
You're treading on thin ice, Monty.
No, I just... Look, fellas at the station are talking, all kinds of things. Moses, Plato, Bosco, and the others.
Talking, eh? About what? About why Blood Boil took my badge? About what an untrustworthy alcoholic wreck I am?
Look, I'm sorry, it doesn't matter.
Good. And let it stay that way.
At least we're cracking this one together, yeah?
Sure, Marty. A man's best friend.
That's not a dog, Sonny. That's a horse. He just has a very weird mane.
I didn't mean him, Marty. I meant the bar.
Oh, I see. Right. Yeah, because that totally makes sense.
2 whiskeys, kid. And no horsing around.
I've never heard that one before. Sonny, you gotta drive,
Yeah, you're right, Marty. Hey, Longface, give me a glass of tap water, too, okay?
Yes, sir. Coming right up. That wasn't exactly what I meant.
Mi?
Come to daddy, darling.
Elrakta piát.
Booze, darling. It's kind of weird, don't you think?
Says someone who calls his gun collection his harem.
Mondjuk ez igaz amúgy. Tehát, hogy sehol egyáltalán nem kapta sem úgy egyik se. Tehát a Sony az elnevezi a piát, a csávó pedig elnevezi a fegyvereit, bassz. A világ legjobb párosa, komolyan mondom.
Touché. I'll shut it.
Good birdie.
Okos kismar.
She has pretty long legs. I mean, pretty and long legs for a squirrel, but I don't want to be prejudiced.
We're not here to stare at pretty squirrels. We're here to investigate, remember? So, where the hell is Natasha?
Well, let's ask that stud over there with those nice gals.
That guy looks way too horny for my taste.
Bazd, ez a szóvic! Ez a szóvic, geci! Ez csak angolul jön ki. Aki értette ezt, az értette ezt. That guy is too horny for me. Geci, bazd meg.
Oh man, you're
humor as bad as ever.
You just need to get used to it again.
What if... a fox is a wolf who sends flowers.
What?
Oh, nothing. I read it somewhere.
Fascinating. I didn't know you could read.
Ha ha ha. Very funny.
Another Lupus movie. Jeez. Is there nothing today they're not trying to sell with this guy?
Whoa, don't be rude, Sonny. Lupus is a timeless genius. Have you seen Predator City? God, I'm still getting chicken bumps. But wait, who's that next to him?
Cassandra Ruby Faye. Nah, never heard of her.
Cassandra Ruby Faye. Oh, gods, even her name makes me go weak in the knees.
Watch your blood pressure, pal.
Don't mind me, just women and guns are my only weakness.
No shit.
You think this is one of those movies where the femme fatale gets everything in the end and the poor detective's left stranded?
Yep, just like life.
Ooh, I've seen this. Hicks Poodle plays a private eye, hired to look for a woman, then gets into some kind of blackmail thing that's connected to the first case, and...
Hey, Marty?
What, yeah?
I don't give a shit.
Ez mekkora troll volt.
Oh, I know this fodder guy. He was kind of good in Death of the Horse.
You've seen every clucking movie.
You know, Laura and I go to the movies a lot. When was the last time you went?
Exactly 12 years ago.
Oh, you remember that precisely? Let me guess. Molly?
Yep, our very first date.
I see. What did you watch?
I don't remember. I just remember her. Nothing else.
You're a clucking poet. I mean it.
This guy is certainly not a gangster henchman.
Of course he's not.
Jaj, nem akartam kimenni.
Hey, there's Fillmore.
Who? Oh, yes. Fillmore. Because that's what he calls himself, right?
You know him well?
We had some seriously wild cases together, yes. Mainly in Averia, way before Clawville. Another place and another life.
Sounds good. Like the blurb of some cheap Pulp Fiction book.
Yeah, it was the exact opposite. But the old bird's worth saying hi to. Well, well. If it isn't the great detective, Marlowe.
Blow me, Sonny. You know I don't use that name anymore.
Okay, Mr. Dumbass alias Phil Marlowe.
Filmmel.
Who says someone who tried to go undercover with the Feather Pillow Mafia is a turkey? Right, Mr. Turk Cayman?
Hey, that was a long time ago. I was young.
And I stick to my principles and my stupidity. Phil Marlowe, and that's that. Don't rile me up, you old fart.
Okay, fair enough. Sorry, I'm a little clapped tonight.
I know the feeling, pal. By the way, what are you two doing here? You stick out a bit. Are you here for a good old-fashioned beating?
We stick out? Man, you look terrible. Like someone who sat on an electric pole.
Don't even ask. I feel exactly like that.
You want a case?
5 feet tall, half of that legs. Angelic voice, demonic eyes, just the usual.
Oh boy.
You?
Something like that. Just don't know the exact numbers yet. A dame named Natasha. She called us here. If I'm not mistaken, the joint is hers.
Yeah, she owns the joint, amongst others. Well, good luck, guys. That broad has a reputation. She's not the kind to toy with, if you know what I mean.
Any useful information?
For free?
Stop clucking around, Philmar.
All right, but just because of the old days. Look for me after you've talked to her. You wouldn't understand what I have to say about it before then. Don't leave unless you're thrown out, in which case, you know the drill. We don't know each other, I'll deny you an appointment.
Good to see you too, old pal. We'll be back.
Megjött az egér! Jónak film már úgy tűnik, tud valami fontosat Natassával kapcsolatban, de addig nem beszél, amíg nem találkoztunk a nővel. Elég idegesnek tűnt, szóval valami fontos lehet. Személyek. Philmar. Philmar Lowe. Sólyom. Egy tökéletesen átlagos fickónak tűnik, de régi jó barát. Avriából. Philmar, mert mostanság ez az álnéven fut, régi harcostárs még Crowville előtti időkből, az egyik legjobb magánkopó a városban, és mint minden hozzá hasonló alaknak, neki is gyakran gyűlik meg a baja a törvénnyel. Mégis ő azon kevesek egyik, akiben még mindig meg lehet bízni Crowville-ben. Ja, ennyi volt itt.
That woman with Ibn. I think I know her from somewhere.
Maybe in your dreams, pal.
Isn't that?
Yes, it is. The great Ibn Wessler, in the flesh. So much for our incognito.
You think he noticed us?
Only if he's not entirely blind.
Great.
Just act nonchalant, my friend.
No, it can't be.
What now?
Is that Olivia?
No, Marty.
Hey, Olivia.
Are you talking to me?
It's me, Marty McChicken.
Oh, God.
What a pleasant surprise. The Rooster Coppers in person.
Chicken police. But yeah, Mr. Wessler, you could say so. The name's...
Sunny Featherland, of course. Chicken police. Your partner is,
Marty McChicken, sir. I just introduced myself to your lady companion seconds ago.
Oh yeah. I'm so happy to see you.
Azon valószínűleg örül nekik, hogy itt van a maffia vezér, hogy itt van a két legjobb zsarú az egész városban.
Hello, boys.
So, to what do we owe this pleasure, gentlemen?
Yeah, so, we were, just in the neighborhood, and...
Cut the crap, Marty. All right, we're here for your sweetheart, Natasha.
Oh, I see.
No big deal. Just a blackmail thing. You know, horrifying threats written on the wall with blood-red paint. The usual stuff. You must be familiar with this kind of thing.
Oh yeah, indeed. It's, nasty business. But I didn't know Natasha hired a detective because of this simple matter. But to be honest, I understand. I would have taken matters into my own hands, you see. But I'm kind of busy.
Mr. Wessler had a meeting with Attorney General Hamtaro yesterday, so he's rather tired. If you would excuse us.
Oh, dear Olivia, it's okay. These gentlemen are just doing their job, right? And if I've heard correctly, they're notoriously thorough. So, how can I help you?
We've got a few questions, if you don't mind.
I'm at your service.
Nagyszerű. Kikérdezhetjük. Először kiolvassuk itt a dolgokat. Tehát eben. Jóképű, karizmatikus és egy rohadék gangster, igen, azt tudjuk. Most már megkaptuk róla a fotót. Oliviáról nem tudtunk eddig az égvilágon semmit. Feltétlenül nem magas és vékony egy varjúhoz képest csendes és titokzatos. Jó. Olivia jelenleg Ibn Wessler asszisztense és kísérője. Megtudni, hogy vajon több is van-e a patkány úr és a varjúhölgy között, meglehetősen hasznos lehet. Ó, lehet, hogy ő fenyegeti a csajt. Még az érdekes lenne. Kikérdezés. Mind ezek még nem tartunk.
Nice bunker you got here.
Well, thank you, but it's not mine. Not anymore. But I'm sure you already know that. Listen, detective. If you want to know something, please ask straight, huh?
All right, Mr. Wessler, let's make this a bit more professional.
Új dolgot jöttünk rá. Nem, azért még körbe kérdezem itt az összes kérdés.
I'm not as exciting as people tend to believe. I grew up in a poor family of many siblings. I'm the only one still alive, unfortunately. My career started with a shoe store, and now, here I am.
I wouldn't call that an average life. Shoe store owner to mob boss.
How dare you speak to Mr. Wessler like that?
Leave it, Olivia, dear. It's just provocation.
I'm sorry if I offended you, Mr. Wessler. Shall we talk about something else?
Everybody knows Mr. Hayworth. He's an antique piece of furniture in this city, so to speak.
Only a bit worn out.
It's not my fault that he's so much in debt, detective, but the name of his family still rings quite loud in Clawville.
Is that still worth anything?
The name is just their name, of course, but the man behind the name is another matter, Mr. Featherland.
You're a pragmatic rat.
Thank you. Look, detective, if you want to know something, just ask.
All right, Mr. Wessler. Has your assistant been working for you long?
Are you talking about me?
Szerinted bazd, ki a faszról beszélne, de úgy őszintén? Kiről geci? Bazd.
Yes, I'm talking about you, man.
Let me answer your question then. I've been in Mr. Wessler's employment for 6 months. Why do you ask?
Oh, just routine questioning, you know. Most of them aren't good for anything. Just killing time.
It sounded rude to me.
Aha.
Yeah, please forgive her, detective. Olivia's a real firecracker.
Ezzel meg tudtunk valamit? Szerintem amúgy igen. De nem itt. Kihalt.
Wessler's a tricky guy. Unfortunately, I don't know enough about him, so I have to be cunning. I can't just pin him against a wall. Yet.
Tehát akkor a benyomás trükkös. Az a kis súlynyílt szem. Kis rohadt. Hogy érintette önt, amikor tudomást szerzett a zsarolásról?
How did you feel when you heard about the blackmail?
Honestly, I found it ridiculous.
And now?
Now I'm kind of interested. But I wouldn't call it blackmail yet. They're just empty threats. There were no demands.
Mindjárt jövök egy pillanat, srácok, bocsi, csak ki kell engedni a macskát. Na, akkor folytatjuk.
Good point.
Thank you. Are we done?
No, not quite.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Plusz 5. Trükkös, bizalmatlan. Nagyon elfoglaltnak tűnik. Mivel foglalkozik most el? Miért nem értesítették a rendőrséget?
Why didn't you just call the police?
Huh? Why? What would have been the use of that? A few messages aren't enough for a case. You should know that.
Harassment makes for a case. So do threats.
Who were you trying to convince, Sonny? Huh? They would have laughed in my face. Anyway, you know, the police station. Once I set foot in there, I'm not coming out again.
Your lawyers are too good for that, Eben.
Yeah, I guess you're right, chicken.
Mínusz 15, bazd meg. Van ötlete, mi oka lehet rá bárkinek, hogy az ön barátnő és olyan? Teljesen hülyének nézik.
Why would anyone have reason to blackmail your girlfriend?
I don't know, maybe because she's my girlfriend?
You think that's enough?
It's plenty enough.
Good point.
Oh, are you finally getting to a point? Or do you really want to dig around in my private life? Because, people who do that end up in the alley, if you catch my drift.
Very much so, Mr. Wessler. Wessler is tougher than I thought, and he's secretive. It's time to gently beat around the bush.
Trükkös, bizalmatlan, titkolózó, lobbanékony. Volt bármi hasonló incidens Natasha múltján? Közel állnak egymáshoz Natassával. Basz, hogy lehet ez? Közel állnak egymáshoz Natassával. Mi az? Bazd meg, a barátnője, mi a... Egyáltalán nem találja veszélyesnek ezeket az üzeneteket? Sok időt tölt mostanában ezen a helyén.
Was there any similar incidents in Natasha's
Ez
past?
is jobban érdekel.
I mean, threats, blackmail, enemies are insane fans. Psychopath pianists, perhaps.
I don't know about enemies, but she's a celebrity. A star shining bright in Clover's night sky. Do you understand? She gets endless fan mail. It could be anybody. I wouldn't overreact.
Natasha doesn't feel that way.
I've noticed.
Nézzel, nem kezd nyíltan beszélni, semmi értelme, húzzunk egymás időt. Gondolja, hogy ez egyik holdolója lehet a tettes. Egyébként minden rendben önök közvetésával. Az van megint a privát élete, passz meg.
Do you think one of her fans is the culprit? Someone who can't take rejection, maybe?
Why not? It's quite common.
It's a typical motive, indeed. Any ideas who it could be?
Yeah. Attorney General Hamtaro is obsessed with Natasha. But he's, more like the kiss on the hand, flowers, Bowie type. Throwing bricks through the window is not his style. I can't think of anybody else. Or rather, I can think of everybody else. About half the city, actually.
I get it.
Ez jó volt, kaptunk boostot. Hajlandó lenne az őrsön is valamest? Nem egy. Ő egy izébe, az meg ő egy maffia vezér, miért jönne be a rendőrségre? Rendőrség miért nem vagyunk szolgálatba? Kaptak már hasonló fenyegetéseket korábban? De ezt már megkérdeztem. A gangster és a cicababa mégis hogy ismerkedtek meg egymással? Megint magánélet, bazd meg.
Have there been similar threats in the past?
Right to the point, yeah? I get it. But sadly, this is a dead end, my friend. No threats like these, whether you believe it or not.
Well, it really seems like a dead end, so I'll just back up and try from a different angle.
You do that.
De miért kaptam -10 ezért? Bazd meg.
The mob boss and the pussycat, eh? How did you even meet?
Huh? Are you trying to piss me off, Corpora, so I accidentally let some big secret slip out, huh?
A simple answer would work.
You know, Natasha, she's both connoisseur and muse. How was it? When was it exactly?
You don't remember? That's strange.
Ah, yeah. The millions, of course. It was like another lifetime. It happened right here. Only this place was called the Millions back then. She was a dancer. Behind the scenes, I arranged opportunities for her on the big stage. Yeah, maybe she's...
Akkor így került fel az.
I invited her for a drink with a promise that if she was willing to meet me, I'd buy the place for her.
Szóval így került fel a színpadra, hogy a csávó fizetett neki, nem fizetett az embereknek, hogy itt léphessen fel. És amikor összejöttek, akkor megvette neki a helyet. Vagy azért vette meg neki a helyet, hogy összejöjjön.
I guess she was willing.
The next day, she had the club in her name.
Well, that is romantic.
Yeah, there are many kinds of romance, Birdman. There's cheap and there's expensive. You get what you can afford.
Ez plusz 10.
Do you live in the same house as Natasha?
Oh, you're really something. Natasha's a free woman, but mostly, yeah, at my place in Guntown. But she has her own kind of a weekend house.
How often does she use the weekend house?
Yeah, every other weekend, roughly.
I see. That's very important information.
Yeah, if you say so.
Csak ne kerüljünk mínuszba. Szóval Natasha halálos veszélyben érzi magát, mégis eljár otthonról. Ilyenkor teljesen egyedül van, egész hét végén. De mi nem tudjuk, hogy halálos veszélyben érzi magát, ő csak egyszerűen fél. De amúgy ez amúgy egy jó kérdés, meg amúgy az alatta lévő kérdés is jó.
Is she completely alone when she's there at the weekend?
As I've told you, Natasha's a free woman, eh? She's an adult. She doesn't need an escort. Or, she didn't need one until now.
Are you afraid for her? You know, a big star like her, alone in that house.
I never said a black car doesn't drive by 2 or 3 times a day, but, it's just caution. I'm not a monster after all, am I?
I suppose not.
Megint -10, bazd meg.
So Natasha feels like...
De az volt a logikus kérdés, geci.
Yet she's still going out alone.
De az volt a logikus kérdés, egyszerűen nem értem. Nem értem ezt a játékot. Megtudta az információt egyébként, hogy nem értem, miért kapott -10-et. Mert megkapta mínusz információt, hogy figyelnek rá. Az meg.
Yeah, I know what you're getting at. But I'm 100% sure of her loyalty. She's gone out very rarely since this started, and mostly in my company. Yeah, you know, I'm not sure if you do, but, in our social circles, banquets and dinners are frequent.
Illegal gambling nights.
You got me there. Yeah, you're right. Natasha is crazy about the roulette wheel.
Always putting it all on the red, right?
Yeah, you're a real rotten bastard, Sonny. Although, yeah, always on the red. Yeah, right.
So, can we meet your lady?
I don't see why not. But first, please, listen to her sing. She's on soon.
Ez szar volt. Komoly zsörű. Ja, szar volt.
Thank you for your time. We'll be seeing you.
I have no doubt about that, unfortunately.
Hey, we should grab a coffee or something, Olivia. You know, for old time's sake.
Pleasure to meet you, gentlemen. Goodbye.
Oh.
Please, take a seat. The show's gonna start soon.
Az fej, bassz meg! És ezzel megjelent a ezzel megjelent a második szín a játékban, amit láttunk a piroson kívül, a zöld most. Komoly fej.
Sonny.
Chloe's still lying in my bed, and it's dead.
That was unique.
Oh, that is cute. Nobody has ever given me such a unique compliment before.
Forgive me, my name is Santino Featherland.
I thought so. You look more or less like I imagined.
More or less.
Sometimes less is more, Mr. Featherland.
You were amazing, dear, as always.
Could you be my little furball and fetch me a cocktail?
But of course.
Eben will be back soon. We'll have a few minutes to talk, then he'll end the conversation and throw you both out.
With all due respect, ma'am, we're not that easy to get rid of. Doesn't matter who's trying, believe me.
It doesn't matter, he'll do it. That's why I'm telling you. I don't want a scene. My room's upstairs. Meet me there in 20 minutes. Come alone, Sonny. You'd be too conspicuous otherwise.
Hey, I understand. You know, they call him Target Marty at the station.
I don't have time, Mr. Featherland.
Sure thing, Natasha. I'll come to your room. 3 knocks, a short pause, then another 3.
I'll be waiting. Go, before he comes back.
I knew she was trouble the first time I saw her. She wore danger like a perfume. It was simply part of her being, and it attracted me, like light attracts the moth people. I wanted to be the microphone as she whispers her melodies, or the pillow she rests her feet on while reading some cheap romance. I wanted to be her nightdress, barely touching, barely covering her marble skin. But I was a cop, and a lifetime wouldn't be enough to rid myself of what a woman like her hides under her makeup. Keep your distance, Sonny. Just keep your distance.
Meg lesz a Sonny, én bízok benned. Képes vagy rá. Ezt eltette?
Gee, that is a unique picture. And kind of daring. I admit I've never seen anything quite like it before.
Yes, I admit it's a little daring. I keep it. It evokes good memories. A precious old friend of mine. A most wonderful artist.
He's got an eye, that's for sure, considering his model.
Was that supposed to be some kind of compliment?
I don't know. I don't compliment often. Not on purpose, anyway.
You're funny.
Tükörkijárat. Mi van itt még? Chiller.
You got a beautiful place here, Natasha. A peaceful little island on the ocean of madness, with very classy furniture.
Ibn likes me surrounded by elegant things, you know?
You're an elegant thing yourself, sweetheart.
Oh, that's charming. Thank you, detective.
I bet you spend a lot of your time staring into the mirror. Do you even recognize yourself?
Maybe you were trying to be rude, but, you know, that's a very good question.
I was just trying to be rude.
Really? Well, then I'm sorry.
Don't mention it. This woman's aware of her charm, and she knows how to use it. A rare and dangerous combination.
Hát, igen.
How do you like your bourbon, Mr. Featherland?
In a glass. But thanks, I had a couple before I came. I feel like this may be a long night.
I hope it doesn't bother you if I have one myself.
I get offended if women don't drink in my company.
Ennyire sem meséltenek, ha a nők nem isznak a társaságban.
Oh, you are a funny guy.
So I've been told. Anyway, lovely room.
Yes. Look, Mr. Featherland.
It's sunny. Saves us a lot of time.
Okay, Sonny.
So, why am I here?
You know, men tend to babble in my presence.
It must be exhausting.
It is. But you're not the type to beat around the bush.
Is it too banal if I tell you it's an occupational hazard?
Terribly.
So can I start the unpleasant questions?
I've asked you here so you can do what you do best.
Really? I thought you asked because you wanted me to investigate for you. But if you'd rather be drinking...
You do have a sense of humor. How reassuring.
Only if I'm a bit hungover. That's usually quite common.
Please drop the act about being the alcoholic, heartbroken ex-cop, Sonny. It would undoubtedly suit you, but I've seen you scanning my room. From the second you set foot in here, you started working, and everything I say gets sorted in your brain. Am I right?
That's a bit of an exaggeration, but yeah, it's something like that.
Well then, Sonny, come at me.
Azt fogja rálöki a chat, mi? Nem foglalkozom.
Oh, that's something I don't hear often. With pleasure.
Legnagyobb örömmel. Jó, hogy egyből kihallgatjuk, akkor megnézzük, mi van. Ebből mindent megtett, hogy kerülje a témát, amikor a fenyegetések kerültek szóba. Biztos, hogy többet tud, mint amit hajlandó volt elárulni. Ígézően zöld szemei vannak, és bizonyosan csak baj jár a nyomában. mint nekem. Natasha valóban titokzatos nő és veszélyesnek is tűnik, de az nem kérdés, hogy bajban van. A kérdés sokkal inkább az, ő maga-e a baj forrása, vagy valaki más. Ibn furcsán viselkedett és habozott, amikor azt hoztam szóba, hogyan ismerkedtek meg Natashával. Érdemes lenne meghallgatni a történetet a másik oldalról is.
Natasha is a confident woman. I can exploit that. But I must be careful. Every part of her oozes danger.
Magabiztos. Egyszerű.
That was a remarkable performance.
I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Do you perform here frequently? You're also the owner, if I'm not mistaken.
Sadly, I don't have the time, but this stage still calls my name, and I perform just a few times a year, and always with a new song.
So that was all the excitement.
I have many admirers, if that's what you mean. Yes.
Rejtélyes. Melyik nő nem rejtélyes amúgy? Itt tenném fel a kérdést, de mindegy. Az a kép falon különösen merész. Az meg, ezt beszéltük meg. Elegáns ez a hely, és elegáns az a is.
The picture on the wall is quite daring.
Only if you knew how old I was at the time.
I think I'm on a slippery slope here.
Come on, don't be shy. Ask me.
All right. How old were you?
Did you really believe I'd tell you?
You're quite a player, aren't you?
Life is anything but a game, detective.
You tell me.
25 pont, jó. Mit tud elmondani nekem Ibn Vesselről? Gondolja, ez egyik a csodálója állhat a fenyegetés
Do you think
hátterében?
one of your admirers might be behind the threat?
Those who admire me usually idolize me. No, I don't think it's one of them.
You know, the soul of an animal is extremely complicated. Sometimes all it takes is a bad look or some small rejection to turn admiration into hate.
That's a stillborn theory. No one hates me if they once loved me, Mr. Detective.
I see.
Jó. Rideg? Ó. Van ennél valami tárgyi bizonyíték a fenyegetésekkel kapcsolatban? Miért te bóra, kedves lány? De miért nem maga jött hozzá? Hogy ez az egész kicsit bűzlik nekem, mégis mire akar rá menni?
Do you have any material evidence concerning the threat?
You may think I'm irresponsible, but I didn't keep any of it. I simply couldn't bear to look at them.
Ez viszont eléggé gyanús.
Didn't you think maybe the police would need it?
I didn't think I needed the police. Moreover, do you think the girlfriend of Ibn Whistler could ever turn to the cops?
I see. So, what about me? How do I come into the picture?
It sounds ridiculous, but you're my last hope.
That does sound ridiculous, but I accept my ego and old habit.
You can't do anything else, can you?
Something like that. A leopard can't change its spots. Deep behind the diamond skin lies the truth. It doesn't matter how hard Natasha's trying to hide it. She's scared. Now I must concentrate to finally find out what I want to know.
Magabiztos, rejtélyes, rideg, rémült. Mi áll a pontos a fenyegetésben?
What was in those threats, exactly?
The message itself is not a threat. It's just a word.
But a word again and again is threatening.
Exactly.
Exactly.
So,
Úgy van.
You really don't have any idea which word could be used for a woman like me?
I guess I do. Yes, I think I know what it could be.
Whore.
Hord. Nem tudom, mondjuk az így kicsit durvábban hangzott volna, ha azt írja, hogy bitch, és akkor egy sá, de mindegy.
Cat got your tongue? Am I right? You heard it. I said what you were thinking. And yes, that was in the message. That was printed on the paper and painted on my wall. In giant red letters.
Well, thank you for your honesty.
Úgy nyom. Mi a helyzet filmmárral? Ő is maga. Nem, filmmart nem buktatjuk le még véletlenül. Ezt javaslom, húzza meg magát egy időben. Soha nem látták a tettest egy kósza alakot sem. Fenyegetéseknek közel állt az önök sajátos veszélyes kapcsolatához.
No one's ever seen the culprit? Not even a shadow?
That's one of the most curious things. Even has men everywhere. Literally, my shadows, ghosts in every alley. But no one saw anything.
Ez ők
One of
érdekes.
them could be the culprit.
Ibn phases animals well, and he's the most dangerous man in the city. A combination that nullifies your theory, I believe?
Maybe, ma'am. Love is capable of insane miracles and miraculous insanity.
What poetry. Did you ever think about writing a book?
Never. I'm afraid I'd learned too much about myself.
Maybe that's the point. I would read about you. Not like the chicken police Pulp Fiction.
Furry hell. Do you read that trash?
Like everyone else in the city.
Oh, great.
I think it's flattering, even as badly written tales of heroes in the gutter.
You enjoy it?
Just a little, son. Just a little.
Ez szarul lett lefordítva, de nem baj. Egy sötét árnya múltból. Megszerető, esetleg férj. Szóval nem rajongó és nem belső emberem. Ki legyen apszik?
So it's not a fan and not an inside job. What do you suspect?
Aren't you supposed to know that?
Usually, yes. But I've got nothing to go on. And you don't have a hunch.
Maybe I do. But first, I want to know if you'll even accept my case.
I'm here, aren't I?
Mondjuk ez igaz.
That's true, but I must know if I can trust you.
Proof of the pudding is in the eating.
I wish it was that simple.
Mert nem ilyen egyszerű, pazd meg. Akkor minek hogyha nem bízik benne, akkor minek hívta ide?
Natasha is a mysterious woman, but I must gouge out at least one of her secrets. Enough games. It's time to know why I'm here.
Ez nem ártana. De jó, eleget kerülgettük a forrókásat. Honnan ismeri Mollyt?
Let's stop beating about the bush. How do you know Molly?
I'm prepared for that question, but it's still not easy.
You knew very well that if you threw in the name of my wife, I'd come to you no matter how vague and suspicious the case was. I just want to know if you're simply a manipulator or you're really that desperate.
I really know her. I'm not lying.
Oh, really? How? Were you a nurse too? Forgive me, but I don't think so.
Don't be rude and so cynical, Sonny.
I'm sorry, but that's me when feline claws are at my throat.
Molly is an old and good friend of mine. She has nothing to do with this, but I knew that if I didn't mention it to you, you wouldn't have come.
Yeah, Natasha, you're right there.
I knew you were a decent fowl, that you would help me. That's what you're famous for.
Don't go there. Flattery doesn't work.
Look, forgive me. I shouldn't have brought your wife into this.
You're right, you shouldn't have. But to be honest, I don't think she's my wife anymore. On paper she is, but I haven't seen her in years.
I'm sorry, I didn't know.
Really?
Bazony.
I did. I knew I checked you out before I sent Deborah.
Luck me. This case is getting more and more intriguing.
Kaptunk ötöt. Maga végig szórakozott velem, igaz? Mégis mit szeretne tőlem?
What exactly do you want from me?
You are really as good as they say you are. And I'm not selling lucky dips, Sonny. Find them, whoever they are, and...
Whatever it takes.
Not exactly, but something like that.
You know, if I didn't see the speck of fear behind the confidence shining in your eyes, I wouldn't take the case.
I'm not afraid.
You're terrified, Natasha. Don't be ashamed.
You must solve this. As soon as you can. Money's not an issue.
Na? Fókusz pontos. Hogy lehet ez 60%-ban az?
Just one more thing, Sonny.
Natasha?
Please, come to 37 Rochester Street in Flower Town tonight. I'd like to show you something that could be of a great help in your investigation.
I was afraid this was coming. Why there? Why not here and now?
It's something I keep hidden there. I won't take the risk of Ibn or one of his men seeing it.
Isn't Ibn too dangerous to keep secrets from?
Sonny, a woman is naked without her secrets.
Vagyok ez igaz.
I knew you would understand.
Oh yeah, I understand everything. So, when do we meet? The night is almost over.
I'll be there in an hour. Don't be early, and don't be too late.
Look, Natasha, you know...
Please, this is very important to me.
Sure, I get it. I'll be there.
Thank you.
Új tárgy.
Till later, Natasha.
Goodbye, Sonny.
Jó, azt az új tárgyat azt megnézzük. A kulcs. Megkaptuk hozzá a kulcsot. Natasha valóban fél már őszinte. De mégis elhallgat előlünk dolgokat, és ez nagyon nem tetszik nekem. Natasha meghívott a hétvégi házba, hogy megmutasson valamit. Más helyzetben örülnék ennek, mint majom a farkának, de most inkább aggodalommal tölt el a dolog. A fenyegető üzenet, vagy pontosabban fenyegető szó, amit Natashának küldtek, gyomorba vágóan egyszerű, kurva rövid, de annál sokat mondó.
Well,
Weren't you supposed to be waiting in the car?
I was bored to tears, Sonny. I also thought maybe something happened to you.
You thought Natasha had eaten me alive, huh?
Well, who knows? You're such a fragile little thing.
Olyan kis törékeny vagy.
I'm too old for this, Marty.
Then next time, leave the dangerous predators to me.
I didn't mean that, Marty. I meant you.
Oh.
it's you. How can I help you, gentlemen?
Look, we really don't want to dig into your personal life, but
But what exactly is my relationship with Mr. Wessler? And how close am I to him?
you don't beat around the bush, man.
Well, actually, I remember.
I don't have time to chit-chat, Mr. Featherland. So yes, I'm not one to beat around the bush. And no, I'm not sleeping with Mr. Wessler.
Well, thanks for the quick and straight answer.
Anything else?
Do you come here often, Olivia?
No, not really.
Well, okay.
You're welcome.
Na bocs, megint elszkippeltem, bazd meg.
You know, Aiden's not as ferocious as you'd think. On the contrary, he's become very different recently.
I heard. Don't you find that weird? A sudden change of heart?
Sometimes an animal just has enough. Fed up and wants a change. I deeply respect that.
Well, thank you for your honesty, man. What's your relationship with Miss Natasha Katsenko?
We've talked a bit, that's all.
There's no tension between you? You know, the pretty secretary.
No, thank you for your compliment, Mr. Featherland. No, no tension. Natasha's an intelligent woman. I respect her.
Is that mutual?
That I can't tell.
If I'm not mistaken, Natasha has a weekend house in Flowerville.
Yeah, that's right.
Can you tell me anything about it?
I've never been there. Allegedly, it's beautiful. Elegant, luxurious. Just like Natasha herself.
Jó, akkor ennyi.
Excuse me, pal. My name is Santino Featherland.
Gabriel, what do you want? Chickens.
Az orosz akcentus. Azaz.
Do you happen to know where Mr. Wessler went?
Do you take me for a fool? Get out of here while I'm in a good mood, birds.
Okay. Thanks, big boy.
Ibben mostanában valamiféle húspótló üzlet foglalkozik, legalább az asszisztens azt állítja. Ibben az előadás után feltűnően gyorsan távozott a klubból. Jó, ezen kívül nem tudtunk meg sokat. Csendes és halálos, valószínűleg Stovor való. Ez a Hughes valószínűleg Ibben Wessler velőlegénye. Hát, gondolod? És vele kell beszélnünk.
So, have you talked to Natasha?
In fact, yes. She was kind of mysterious.
I bet she was. You know, I've never abandoned a case before. Not voluntarily, anyway. But that woman...
You're too old for this shit, huh?
As you say, pal.
That's exactly how I felt, too.
Before you leave, take this and examine it closely.
What is it?
The reason I've decided all of this is not worth it for me.
Wow, that sounds encouraging.
Take care of yourselves, guys. This case, maybe it goes deeper than you think.
Oh, that makes my feathers stand on end.
Ah, old brokers, you're safe while I'm here.
Az a fej!
Okay, I didn't say anything.
Ezt adta.
We stepped into it, didn't we?
Az mi? Telefonszámok.
Of all that's furry, what kind of a list is this?
Exactly. I have no idea, but I don't even want to find out.
Those names, all top dogs. Maybe they play cards together.
Sure, that's very likely. Anyway, I pried this list out of a dead man's hand. Somebody dropped him outside the forest, a few miles from the Wessler residence.
I should have known she was keeping secrets.
Keeping secrets? She's the secret herself.
Thanks, Filmar. This could be important.
Don't thank me. Maybe I've just signed your death warrant.
Oh, thank you, sir.
Oh, shut up, Marty.
Új helyszín. Tehát itt végeztünk akkor. Csak pár nevet ismertem fel a listáról, amit Filmar nyomott a kezembe, de azok mind Cloville a legfelsőbb rétegéhez tartoznak. Lehet, hogy csak egy esküvői névsor, de kétlem, hogy ez lenne a helyzet. Az impozáns nevekkel teli listának valami közel kell legyen Natasához, és így talán a fenyegetésekhez is. Igen, Filmar. Filmar korábban maga is Natasának dolgozott, de kiszállt az ügyből, mielőtt túl forróvá vált volna a talaj. Minden esetre megtartotta az egyik bizonyítékot, jó magánkopóhoz híven, ami most nagyon is jól jöhet nekünk. Helyek. Weekend House. Natasha hétvégi háza, a város talán legtisztább és legelszeparáltabb negyedében virágvárosban áll. Kíváncsi vagyok, a cicus vajon mit rejteget ott. Mondjuk én is kíváncsi vagyok. Oda fogunk menni. Akkor oda be tudunk menni majd a Cloville Police Departmentbe. Jó. Na szóval, innen fogjuk folytatni. Holnap. Igen. Holnap fogjuk innen folytatni. Köszönöm szépen, hogy velem voltatok, remélem tetszik nektek ez a játék, remélem annyira tetszik nektek ez a játék, mint nekem, és remélem, hogy végig fogjátok nézni, és remélem, hogy most már jó volt a hang. Mindenkinek szép estét és szép napot kívánok, szevasztok!